Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Dinosaur Island. This is the south side of the island, where the Utah Raptors and the T-Rex pack are, where Nigel, one of the T-Rexes, was recently lost, and still is lost. We will get back to his story, but he will be okay. For the south side of the island flourishes with life. It is lush, full of trees, water, and plant life. But today's episode is not about the south side. It is about the current drought happening on the north side of the island. This is what the north side of the island looks like right now. It is desolate. There is always a dry season in the north of the Dinosaur Island, but sometimes even in the south. But it never comes on this bad, this fast, this severe. The entire north side of the island flourishes not with life like it once did, but only with death. Katie, the concavenator, is doing bad. Redsail, the juvenile Spinosaurus, is doing worse. But the animal that is doing the absolute worst in the north right now is Corytha, the bull Hadrosaurus. As you can see, the bite on his neck that he got from the Dilophosaurus in episode 3 has become infected. It is nasty. The infection has been here for weeks, and it just keeps getting worse. The likelihood of Corytha's survival is almost 1 in a million. Corytha's infection, although the biggest problem, is not the only problem that the Hadrosaur herd is having right now. Maya has laid eggs. There are only 3 of them, but she protects them with her life, which means that migration is not an option because she refuses to leave her nest. That means that all 3 of the poor Hadrosaurs here are stuck on this side of the island. But the biggest problem of all is the predator that is stalking the Hadrosaurs right now. It is Redsail, the juvenile Spinosaurus. The wound on his side has healed decently, but he is still limping from where he got bit on his leg by the smaller Carnotaurus. This has made him desperate. He can no longer hunt other carnivores or ceratopsians or things that have horns and spikes and armor. He must go after more vulnerable things out here in these desolate places, like Hadrosaurs. He has grown impatient. There are no more sand dunes between him and the Hadrosaurs for him to stalk them from, so he must attack now. Corytha's neck has been snapped. Before the other Hadrosaurs can even react to what has happened, Redsail targets Maya immediately. One final suffocating bite seals her fate. Para is the only one still alive. He manages to escape just in time. Redsail does not bother with him. He will let him live. Meanwhile, we see Katie the Concavinator doing something that, although normally would be good, in this situation, is going to make her all the weaker. We can see that Katie here is digging a nest. Any other time of year, any other place on the island, this would be a good thing, but here, in this type of drought, it is going to make her a target to bigger, stronger predators. Already, some stronger carnivores are targeting her. It is the male BionicleSaurus from last episode. He knows that if Katie has babies, that'll make her physically weaker. And he doesn't even have to wait to attack her until then. Because already she is nest-bound, which means she cannot move, cannot escape, cannot leave this area. She is doing an okay job of holding him off for now, but she cannot do this forever. Meanwhile, we see Para. This here is the first time that he has even stopped to rest since first fleeing the scene of Coritha and Maya's death. He has not stopped running, not stopped trying to escape. But rationally, he knows that he is far enough away from Redsail that he is safe. How is Para possibly going to survive now? Alone, without a herd. Coritha and Maya are dead. He watched them suffer and die. He could have psychological damage from that. Not to mention, it's the dry season. How is one alone Parasaurolophus supposed to survive in this desolate northern wasteland? There is only one thing for Para to do. He cannot wait until summer is over, until the rains return. That could be months and months from now. And he cannot stay here on the north side, surviving, alone. A lone Parasaurolophus in these conditions would be picked off instantly. He has to migrate to the south side. It is his only option. However, food, water, the dry season, these are all the least of Para's worries right now, for he is unaware that he is being stalked. It is a huge female Allosaurus maximus, bigger, almost, than a Tyrannosaurus. She knows that Para is alone. She can see that he is weak, frightened, and in a bad way. She will not attack yet. She doesn't have to. All she has to do is wait for him to die of thirst or heat stroke out here. And then she will have an easy meal. Para doesn't even notice the huge predator behind him. Meanwhile, back a few miles east, we see that Katie has finished digging out her nest. The BionicleSaurus is not stupid. He knows that even with her nest bound, even with her being weaker than him to begin with, even with her being weakened by laying many eggs, he knows that she is still, dimensions-wise, larger than him, even if she is not heavier. She is not going to be an easy dinosaur to kill. So he is going to kill her slowly and systematically. The BionicleSaurus backs off. He has inflicted the wound he intended to. With her left angle snapped, Katie's one advantage, speed, is now gone. Her chances of survival are very slim now. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Dinosaur Island.